Well, hello and welcome to the Force Friday show where we discuss all things Star Wars. Today, Stephen, the headline is quiet, but the headline is Oscar Isaac supports Carrie Fisher's posthumous appearance in episode 9. And of course, what Oscar is talking about is obviously Carrie Fisher sadly passed away a couple of years ago. If you've been living under a rock since then, JJ and the people involved in the creation of episode 9 decided to use archive footage of Carrie Fisher from The Last Jedi and The Force Awakens and blend it into the story of episode 9 in a way where she's going to be honoured without the use of CG, without recasting, without writing her out in the obviously the screen crew. So he's on board for it, he's supporting it, and we've seen umpteen people come out and supporting this incidentally, including their brother Todd Fisher, who's always talking about it, but thankfully this time it's somebody different. And he says, we desperately loved Cat. No, that was actually the director, Stephen, that says that. I'm tripping out my nut.
No, it's okay.
I don't know what Paul says. He says, I was surprised because he says he wasn't surprised, I should say, because he remembered being with Fisher and that they worked together so much. They would talk about scenes that things were very tight during the shooting of the film. So it was a beautiful thing to see, and it really did carry over well into the new film. He says that he thought it was right to engage with the character, not to just let it be something that faded away, and that this will give Fisher a proper place of honour. So that final bit and the little discussion they had about it was the thing that intrigued me the most. This final place of honour, this perhaps tells me that they are going to kill off the character of Princess Leia in episode 9, but they've managed to do it in a way which is going to feel natural and fulfilling and give a good wholesome end to her arc. So I'm glad once again to see somebody else coming out and giving this their backing, that they've utilised this archive footage in a way that's going to do the character justice, and it's going to be blended in hopefully in an organic manner. It's not going to take us out the film like Tarkin did for some people in Rogue One. I didn't give a damn about Tarkin. I really enjoyed it. I was the opposite. I was looking forward to seeing more of him because I loved the character. So I'm glad to see that it's another person coming out and supporting it. But what the hell do you make? Do you share the sentiments of me about that end line? Do you think they're going to kill her off?
I think they will, John, just based on that last paragraph. But I think it was a relationship I wanted to see more of. The only other relationship I wanted to see more of, or anything of, was the relationship between Leia and Ben. We might still get that. Doesn't talk about it in this article. What it does talk about is the relationship between Poe Dameron and General Organa. I liked the relationship they had in The Last Jedi. It was one of the better things about the film. I just felt that there was more to explore. I think that relationship, what we got in The Last Jedi, perhaps should have been a little bit more in The Force Awakens to develop it a little bit more. But listen, I get what Oscar Isaac's saying here. I think a lot of people are going to be very surprised in how well this is going to be executed as well. To be honest with you, he's kind of stating the obvious as well, though, because a recast I wasn't on board with, and I wasn't on board with CG either. So this is the only other avenue you can go down. Rotoscoping her into certain scenes. We know that she's going to be interacting with Poe Dameron. I don't know if Oscar Isaac's going to get into trouble for this because it's kind of...
I doubt it.
A bit of a spoiler. Slightly. Listen, I'm on board with it, but I do think that she's going to probably pass away in this film. It's the last of the Skywalkers anyway. And it makes sense in a way. If they're going to be sort of ending things in this film, then I take it the Skywalkers have got to end as well.
Yeah, they have, and she is a Skywalker, Steve, fundamentally. She may have married and became a soul, sort of, although I don't think she was ever really.
No.
What was it? Was it Organa's soul? I can't recall, but she's a Skywalker in terms of bloodline and lineage. And if they are passing this off as the end of the Skywalker saga, which of course Oscar Isaac actually spoke about last week to another, I think it was today or something, some show, and he confirmed that the Skywalker saga would indeed end with episode 9 and that it would be a fitting conclusion to that. So if that's going to be the case, then obviously Carrie Fisher, being a Skywalker, she has to end as well. She has to, let's say that, talking crap, perhaps you could do something where she perhaps carries on and then they just, character dies after that and they just maybe address it in some other way, maybe a standalone film with somebody coming in to play her. Maybe her daughter could come in and play her, I don't know.
Yeah, I think Oscar Isaac says something about the character doesn't fade out though, so
yeah, exactly.
I wouldn't see that happening.
Yeah, I think in combination with that final bit about having a honourable ending and in conjunction with that as well, about not fading away, I think that's pretty much confirming that she is going to die in this film, Stephen, which is a shame, but look, that's something they've done with all of the legacy characters, really. They've done it with Han Solo in The Force Awakens, they've done it with Luke in The Last Jedi, and I do fundamentally believe that if Carrie Fisher was still alive, they would have killed the character off anyway in Episode 9. It was just the direction that we're going, killing them off one by one, and then finally passing it off into a new generation of characters. So it's a shame. I'm not surprised though. I'm just glad to see we're definitely going to get a fitting conclusion to the character, and I really cannot wait to see. That's one of the big things I'm excited about for Episode 9, seeing how they handle this, how this footage is going to play in. Is it going to be organic? Is it going to take you out the film? Who is she going to be interacting with? There's a whole host of questions that remain unanswered and they'll not be answered until December. If I was to be a betting man, I've said it time and again, I think she will have a moment with Kylo Ren, obviously her son Ben Solo. Perhaps bring him round enough to maybe do an act of sacrifice which will redeem him. I think that's the best bet. And then perhaps you may have a moment with the likes of Luke at the end as a Force Ghost, which you actually mentioned before we come on, which would actually be pretty cool. But it should be
corny, but it's possible.
Well, it's something you've seen time and again. You see the famous Jedi characters appearing at the end of well, not at the end of the prequel trilogy, but at the end of the actual original trilogy, we've seen them line up. So history repeats itself. It's all poetic, as George did say. But look, Stephen, I've not got much more to add. It's a short and sweet little topic. As all the topics this week are in general, we're doing a little thing here though, but we're going to break various topics down and maybe try and expand them out a bit so we can have a show a little bit longer than 15 minutes. This next topic, Stephen's all about the Mandalorian, just a whole host of different kind of a plot, bullet points going through what we know just now, when it's possibly going to release. This is from Radio Times again, incidentally. Every single topic this week is from Radio Times. Somebody's also trying to get their Star Wars fix over at Radio Times, and they've been diving right down the rabbit hole like Anthony Daniels has been doing. But look, Stephen, they're saying that they've not confirmed it because it's not been confirmed, but they seem to be hinting that perhaps The Mandalorian will premiere on Disney Plus, which comes out, I believe, in September, or the fall as they say over in the United States. We just call it autumn 2019. So what do you think of that?
I think it's a good time for it to come out, John. I think the summer is going to be all about the promotion of Episode 9, and then I think it's going to go quiet. We're going to get the premiere of the first episode of The Mandalorian on this new streaming channel. I think this might actually be the launch of the streaming service as well with this first episode, or maybe we'll get 2 back-to-back episodes just to get us right into it. And then for the next few months we can all enjoy this television series before we get to Episode 9. So I think it's a good time for this release. I don't think it's going to take any of the focus away from the film release, but the film release is not going to overshadow this television release either.
Yeah, Stephen, as I did say, they didn't actually confirm when it's going to come out. This is just their general idea, their conclusion, their
well, it's a good idea.
Yeah, it's a good idea. I'd love to see it come out this year. I'd love to see it coming out as a premiere for the Disney Plus streaming service. But if that doesn't happen, Stephen, then if they decide they're just going to focus on Episode 9 perhaps first and foremost this year, then I think the next best bet would probably be maybe next year at some point. Summer or something like that.
And
that will help us get through that gap year of films until we get into the Benioff and Weiss or perhaps the Rian Johnson trilogies. And then also, but saying that, we've got the Cassian Andor series coming as well, so I would presume that would be coming out. And the fact that they have, I mean, I think they're well into production now. I'm pretty damn sure they're well into it. I know Dave Filoni had done the premiere and that had been confirmed that he'd shot that a long while back, so I'm pretty sure they must be a good bit through this.
I think they are, John.
So it's possible. I mean, it could come out, I think.
There's no rule saying they've got to release it as soon as it's made, but just picked up the actual price of the subscription per month on the UK. They've already got an active subscription service in the UK called Disney Live. I didn't know that. It's £4.99.
Yeah, I didn't know that either. 450 Disney films.
Yeah, there you are. Didn't know that.
I didn't know that either, Stephen. But this one's going to be much more comprehensive, as they do say. It's an all-encompassing entertainment offering, so hopefully that'll be replaced with Disney Plus. I hope they don't try and pull a fast one here and fling us under the bus. Maybe they've Hopefully they've not done a deal with Rupert Murdoch during that Fox
takeover.
takeover.
Talking about here.
Yeah.
I think I know who you're talking about here.
During that Fox takeover, that they somehow carved it up so Disney Plus
I'm pretty
doesn't
sure
hit
there
here.
is a Disney kind of application on Sky, so you could be right there.
Yeah, a carve up and it just lands on Sky in some vein. I hope that's not the case because I really want to get into this Disney Plus streaming service. I hope we get it like with US counterparts. But look, Stephen, there's a whole host of things getting touched upon here just about the Mandalorian in general. And it's really is whetting my appetite. Just seeing that great armour again of the lone gunslinging Mandalorian figure. Obviously played by Pedro Pascal. He's a fantastic actor. I actually watched Triple Frontier on Netflix last week and he was in it and he was pretty damn good alongside the likes of Ben Affleck, Charlie Hunnam, Oscar Isaac. So I cannot wait to see this guy leading this TV show. I think he's more than accomplished. I can't wait to see what he does with it. And you look at the rest of the cast, Steve, Nick Nolte, Werner Herzog, Gina Carano. She's not so much Gina Carano though. She's okay, she's not that great, but Giancarlo Esposito, Carol Weathers is in there. So I can't wait to see how these are all going to blend in. I can't wait to get my hands on this story, consume it, man, because it's going to be fantastic. This is going to be a real groundbreaker. It could go two ways. It could go terribly and totally destroy Star Wars going forward in a different medium, or it could be a trailblazer and we see more and more series.
I have got no doubt about it, John. This is going to be a success.
Hopefully.
Jon Favreau, he has more strikes than misses. I think what he's done has been very clever as well. We're all talking about who's going to be starring in this series, and we're forgetting that
who's directing
directing as well, and that whole list. I'll let you read them out, John, because you know more about most of these directors than I do. But listen,
me under the bus here, Stephen.
Yeah, you do. I mean, we're talking about it before we come on. But listen, the one that stands out for me is Dave Filoni. I think the guy is.
He's got the easiest name as well.
That wasn't my intentions, but
you know he is.
Listen, I think it's long overdue that this man is given this platform. It's not exactly what I would have wanted. I would like to have saw him direct a film, but this is a stepping stone to, this is the next best thing in my book, and I think.
Well, I think they're definitely testing the water, Stephen, to see how he reacts in live action because he's done animated and he's done it very well. Yeah. So how he's going to react to directing actual actors in an actual physical realm set. And if he excels with this and it becomes a success, then I don't see any reason why you can't then go on to tackle films and then perhaps supplant Kathleen Kennedy as a producer. And the all-seeing, all-hearing, omnipotent being at the top of Lucasfilm. I don't know. That's what I would do, but I'm just a plebe from Glasgow. I don't have any sway at Lucasfilm or Disney, sadly. But look, the other one's obviously Taika Waititi. Yeah. Very much an established director, Stephen, the likes of The Hunt for the Wilder People, I think it is. Not the Were People. For Ragnarok. Yeah, and obviously What We Do in the Shadows. So he's a brilliant director. He's got a unique tone, but he did say he wasn't going to bring that into this. He was very aware of the feel and that magic element of Star Wars, and he was going to try and adhere to that. So I'm glad to see he's there. Bryce Dallas Howard. I don't think she's directed anything. This is her directorial debut, but she's obviously the daughter of Ron Howard, so this is, you can't get better genes than that, Stephen. You can't get better know-how and the expertise getting passed down to you than from the brilliant and great Ron Howard. Rick Pham, there's my dog getting into it. He's want to be involved and be Chewbacca. I digress, I'll block him out, Stephen, and go into the final two. Rick Pham, Famuyiwa, I can't say that name. Don't know anything about him, Stephen, I can't lie, but look, if they've got him on board and Jon Favreau's given him his seal of approval, then he must be decent. Deborah Chow, obviously she's been involved in Mr. Robot, that fantastic series. I think it stars, what's his name, Stephen? Rami Malek. Flowers in the Attic and Jessica Jones. She's got good pedigree. So they're getting the right people on board, Stephen. They're getting the right cast members on board. It's a great time set in 3 years after the events of The Return of the Jedi. And just seeing how this fall, it is after The Return of the Jedi, isn't it?
It's 3 years after,
After The Return of the Jedi, that fall of the Galactic Empire, how that obviously fallout's going to have impacted on the galaxy, not just the central areas of the galaxy where all the powerhouses are and the kind of a welfare people are, but the outer rim and how that's going to impact the less wealthy people, the more Neanderthal sort of scoundrels. So I cannot wait to get my hands on this. As I did say, Stephen, it's going to be a very exciting time to be a Star Wars film. Episode 9, The Mandalorian, and the Cassian Andor series, and perhaps if they both hit, an Obi-Wan series popping up with 10 hours of Ewan McGregor goodness, man, getting his teeth into the transformation from Obi-Wan, the general of the Republic, to Ben Kenobi, that Hamill and Tatooine.
John, that's why I think Star Wars Celebration this year is going to be a big one.
Oh yeah.
And this is part of one of the bullet points in, is there a trailer for The Mandalorian yet? Of course there is not, because we've not reacted to it.
Not yet. I can't wait for that.
And nobody's been talking about it, but I think this is going to play into Celebration this year, along with a trailer from Episode 9 as well. And maybe some announcements of future television series as well.
I have to say, Stephen, talking about excitement for Star Wars things, I cannot wait for Celebration next month. It's going to be really, really good. It's in Chicago as well, a great city. So that combination, they've got a real fanfare that just seems to find its way into every facet of entertainment. WWE, Raw was there last night. Chicago, one of the best audiences. So I just feel like it's going to be a real celebration again for all things Star Wars. I think it was a correct decision to let things blow out from obviously The Last Jedi, leave it a year, and then come back and give us all this Star Wars goodness. Not just TV shows and films, but just the comics and the books and stuff like that, and just panels breaking down how to do it. Because if there's one thing about The Last Jedi you can't criticise, Stephen, it was the behind the scenes and the wizardry with the visual effects and whatnot. So it'll be great to see them breaking down how they made that film, what it was. But look, I digress. I'm going to move on to the next topic, Stephen. This one's going to be very short and sweet. It's basically about Mark Hamill again. We seem to talk about dear old Mark every single week. And if he's not moaning away about how they got things wrong in Star Wars, then he's trolling the fans on Twitter. And he's doing it with his famous dad humour. And this one's all about the Episode 9 trailer. People have been pestering him incessantly about a trailer dropping for Episode 9, and he
regurgitated a joke.
He regurgitated a joke from last year.
That's actually a bit.
Master Hamster.
He doesn't just repeat himself in chat shows, he actually tells the same jokes over and over again. I don't mind that, you know, he's a good guy.
Yeah, he's a great guy, Stephen, and look, it's a great photo of him hanging out of his own trailer. Or hanging out of his own trailer. I'm injecting a bit of Glaswegian slang in there, hanging. He's hanging out of it, and he's pointing to the Master Hamster sign. So this is him saying, look, basically he's saying, I don't know when the trailer's coming out. Until they do, just be satisfied with this exclusive look at my own personal Star Wars trailer. And of course, he's done this before, Steve. He's posted up a whole multitude of but he posted up another one, a whole multitude of different trailer types, and just trolled the fans a little bit. I love Mark. I love his humour, and I love his interaction with the fans on Twitter. He really gets that platform.
And there's 9 trailers there.
There's 9 trailers, Exactly, I didn't even pick up on that, Stephen. That's very intelligent, actually. Very well done, Mark. As I did say, Stephen, he's a guy that's really bought into Twitter, and he knows how to utilise it to the absolute maximum. His political slapdowns of the Trump organisation or administration, not organisation, the Trump organisation, I take it back, he has got an organisation. He's got golf courses, one up in Aberdeenshire, and he slaps them down from time to time and interacts well with not just Star Wars fans, but the fans of his Joker and all the other various things. So what do you make of this, Stephen? I'm gibbering away again.
No, listen, it's so predictable from Mark Hamill these days that it's quite funny. Going to his Twitter account and asking him such a question, why not bug J.J. Abrams on his Twitter account and ask him?
Why would you even ask Mark Hamill? The guy's the greatest story, secret keeper in the history of cinema. He's not going to say for a kick-off, and he's going to give you a funny retort as well. Exactly.
I don't know. I think it's people just want to maybe get a like or a retweet from or something. They're desperate that way.
And who can blame him?
I don't even follow him.
You don't follow him? No, I do. I follow him. I do.
A big fan of his, but I just don't
follow Anthony Daniels as well, Stephen. I don't know if he's still down that rabbit hole. I'll settle chat up in a minute.
Okay, but listen, John, I like I always like Mark Hamill's promotion of the films as well. A lot of people do always go on about his sort of negative words in regards to the Last Jedi, sort of taking a lot of things out of content. I don't think that bothers him that much. You know, I think he's a man that speaks his mind most of the time, unless he's under contract. On Twitter he's not, but I see
Anthony's not been busy on Twitter.
No, he's not.
Since the 4th of March.
No, I think he might have lost oxygen down in that rabbit hole. He might have to get a rescue team in there.
Look at that, Stephen. That's absolutely crazy.
But one thing you can't accuse Mark Hamill of is going down rabbit holes. You know, I think he sends a lot of his fans.
He's too busy, Stephen. He's too busy.
Yeah,
he's doing TV shows. He's playing some.
I don't have much more to say, John, on the topic. But listen, if you're wanting any information out of Mark Hamill, you went to the wrong person.
Absolutely, Steve. This is a guy that kept the I Am Your Fan secret alongside 2 other people. David Prowse didn't keep it.
Allegedly.
David would never tell. In fact, he was never told anyway, Steve. I think that's categorically proven that he did.
Yep, I think the producer I can't remember the chap's name.
Was it Gary Kurtz? No.
Gary Kurtz. He confirmed that. We're going off on a tangent here, but that was part of the. Was it I Am Your Father documentary?
Empire of Dreams, maybe.
That wasn't Empire of Dreams.
No,
Lucas wouldn't have allowed that.
No.
It was definitely an independent. Definitely an independent documentary on Star Wars or on David Prowse. Gary Kurtz.
It was I Am Your Father. It was. Yeah, that was a great documentary, incidentally. But look, I digress, Stephen. I'm going to move on because we're going way off into a tangent here.
Ourselves a lawsuit there. Yep. Sorry, David.
Yeah, do not get any money out of us, Stephen. We are absolutely pratty. We make nothing out of this. Look, I digress.
And I don't think David Prowse watches us.
No, he definitely doesn't. I wish he would. I'd love to meet him. Very good guy. But look, we're going to move on before we go right into a rabbit hole we can't get ourselves out of. And it's all about Cantina Talk. This is from wired.com, Stephen. This is a nifty little thing they do every week here, I believe. Where they break down various different rumours, also involving Star Wars.
They do it a lot better than that guy on YouTube.
Yeah, Mike Zero, yeah. Well, they break them down anyway, Stephen, and they go through the validity of them all. And the main one is, here's what one dude has seen of Star Wars. I don't know what the hell to make of that title. Here's what one dude has seen of episode 9. There you go. Yeah. And basically, Stephen, it is a Disney shareholder who has been privy to seeing the film.
Some of episode 9,
seen some of, and look, I've not got much more to add to it, Stephen. He's a lucky get, and I'm jealous of him.
Yeah, I'll just read some of his tweets here, John. He said that they said that we saw a blockade runner in an abandoned looking hangar, an explosion knocking stormtroopers into a starship hangar bay, Kylo Ren in a white room looking at the Vader helmet. That sounds like a Force Awakens trailer. Rey, Finn, Poe and Falcon cockpit.
I thought you said Falcon Hoover. Rey, Finn and Poe in the Falcon cockpit. Yeah.
I hope he's not in
Falcon.
I mean,
Rey, Finn and Poe, that doesn't surprise me.
Lando briefly. Rey with Chewie's bow cassette. Finn in some abandoned looking ship interior. It's all very predictable stuff.
Yeah, I don't think this guy's seen the film at all, Stephen.
No, I could have said all that.
And how's he getting allowed to share this information? Why is JJ not decapitated this guy already?
Scott Ladwig. I don't know the chap at all.
No,
he's not a verified account either, so.
So he's talking crap, he's made up. He's a glorified Mike Zero.
Yeah,
he's one of us, Stephen. He's just a pleb. But unlike us, we're not claiming to have seen the film.
Yeah, so apparently he's a Disney shareholder, so...
Disney shareholder. It may very well be. I'm not going to do any digging on that.
Though?
Probably not, no. But look, it's very interesting, the talk of corridors and seeing Kylo Ren, white corridors.
Yeah.
It's all very A New Hope, also the Tantive Fort.
Camino,
yeah. So there's a whole host of little nitpicks, tidbits, whatever the hell you want to call them, in there to maybe thrust yourself into and dive after like a rabid dog. But I'm not going to do it, Stephen, because fundamentally I don't care. And I can't wait to see
Was Vader's helmet not cremated?
No, it wasn't.
Was it
I think
not?
that was confirmed that they kept that on the Supreme. No, it wasn't Supremacy. His Star Destroyer.
Okay.
So I think it survived the blast of obviously Starkiller base. But look, I'm going to move on to the next one, Stephen.
Please do.
Everyone you think is in episode 9 may not be in episode 9, and they're basically saying that it seemed as if everyone in the final chapter of the Skywalker saga, a twist in the tale, has emerged thanks to an interview with former Doctor Who. And we've spoken about this, Steve. Yes. This is about Matt Smith. So you know what? I'm going to scrub that right away.
I've not heard that he's not. Yeah.
I've not heard that he's not. We've done that last week, John. Read through the article before you do the show, and you'll avoid things like this.
Those T-shirts, John. T-shirts.
Yeah, the T-shirts. This is the final thing we'll go into. Basically, there's cool new merchandise came out. I think it's from the cast and the crew on episode 9.
I like it.
And it's inadvertently revealed a new type of stormtrooper. Basically, the helmet's slightly different, Stephen. It's given a bit of a nostalgic vibe, you know, and it's not the clear, conformed and clean lines. It's going for the more traditional triangular eye sort of a shape in the helmet. So that's cool. But perhaps going back to the future a little bit with the helmet design. What do you make of that?
Yeah, I think that T-shirt's pretty cool. I'd wear that on this show, John. I like it. It looks like the bottom half of the Stormtrooper helmet as well. It seems to be
I'm just raging, Stephen, because I've bought this one and it's...
that's pretty cool.
Yeah. Well, that is the old one
I think
anyway.
this is from a verified Twitter account called Making Star Wars. It's Jason Ward. He says, this is the crew Star Wars episode 9 crew hat, just to be clear about the design. This is going to be one of the things that we'll probably not see the light of day. It's going to be very privy to, could be maybe in 40 years time, because they are selling those crew jackets from Empire Strikes Back now.
Very cool indeed.
Those Parkers. So it's something that we might see eventually, but I don't think we'll be getting to see any of this anytime soon. But that's a pretty cool hat and a pretty cool T-shirt as well. Yeah,
Stephen, I completely agree. I would hope they do release them incidentally at some point. I mean, even if I'm 60, I'll still wear them. I don't care. As you can see, I will wear anything with Star Wars on it. But I digress, Stephen. We are going to move on to the final topic. It's going to have to be short and sweet because we have not got a lot of time left. And it is basically, again, Star Wars video game, computer game related. It's all about Dark Forces getting a fan remake. And this guy thinks it's terrible, but not for the reason you would expect. He's not saying it's terrible. That this guy's dedicating his time, his spare time, to recreating this game and revamping the visual side of it, because it's a fantastic game. We have both get great experiences with the Dark Forces franchise. I think it was Kyle Katarn was the primary guy in it.
A good story to it as well, good arc, And
the fact it wasn't connected to the actual saga in any way, and it still had that Star Wars vibe, that feel, and it was fantastic. It was a great story with a great conflicted guy. I think he was part Jedi, part kind of a sort of a Han Solo.
I said to you, John, it did have the sort of vibe of the Luke Skywalker and Han Solo characters, and this came out at a time, I think it was around about 95, 96 it came out, the PC version. This was a time when we didn't think we were getting any more Star Wars films after Return of the Jedi, and this was the next best thing after the sort of expanded universe novels, to get video games that had you know, a story arc to them. Whether or not they were part of the EU, I don't know. You would be better to.
I think he was. I think he was definitely part of the EU, though.
But I thought it was a great. It was a good version of Doom. Doom is an excellent innovative game, which I felt took gaming to another level. You combine that with a Star Wars theme, then you're on to a winner as far as I'm concerned. I loved the game. It was a very hard game as well, as I recall. You know, it wasn't an easy game to play in the sense of the difficulty.
It was difficult,
you know, but just the sheer look of it for its time. It's very dated now. I like the look of some of the screenshots you're seeing from that article, John.
It looks incredible.
And I think I would like to see a Star Wars game like that somewhere down the line.
Yeah, just looking at those ATST, Stephen, and just the innards. I mean, that looks very Force Awakens-esque.
Well, it looks like the Death Star. You know, when you know, Chewie's getting the.
Oh yeah, you're right, Stephen. You're absolutely right. Yeah, talking crap, because it is the original Imperial sort of a Galactic Empire logo. It's not the first order.
It looks like the original Sega Master System as well.
Yeah. But isn't it incredible what these guys can do? It just puts the likes of EA to shame, and this is what the guy's basically saying, Stephen. That it's terrible that you're having to rely on fans to obviously go back and remake classic computer games and stuff like that, and they've got such a rich IP, as they say, and it's not being utilised to its absolute maximum.
Exactly,
a big organisation like Disney and EA combined can't put out a consistently good run of games. I mean, we've had 2 Battlefront games, we've not had any open world sort of a single player intensive games that shall enrich the canon and the mythology of the world, which is a real shame. These games were doing that in the 1990s. We've got guys going back and having to remake them, having to reskin them, and that is really sad. I want to see EA getting a finger out, or better yet, getting kicked to the curb and bringing in a new developer who will create a new sort of a Knights of the Old Republic and a new interesting and diverse sort of an open world game with a fantastic story and interesting characters like Kyle Katarn. And it's a shame. I agree with the guy. I'm absolutely delighted to see people are still dedicating their time to bring these things up into the 21st century, but that we aren't getting new interesting stories at the same time. But I digress. If you get anything more to add to that, Stephen? No? Well, I'm going to round up the show for this week then. If you're enjoying the content we're putting out, if you've enjoyed this show, comment below and let us know what you thought. Like the video, subscribe to the channel, and we'll be back next Tuesday with Box Office Chat. If you're liking this video, then why not check out our other content on our channel? Every Tuesday we break down the top 10 films in the UK on Box Office Chat. Every Wednesday we discuss the latest entertainment news on Movie Burner News. Every Thursday we chat about the latest movie reviews from our writing team on the Blog Rundown. And we wrap up the week and get ready for the weekend with the Force Friday show, where we discuss the latest news in the world of Star Wars. If you're liking the content we're putting out, then do subscribe to our channel by hitting that subscribe button and click the bell to receive alerts.